Jason Gilbo here at Fantasy Football Cafe, taking a look at the Washington Redskins for the upcoming season, and they are already a mess. The confidence from the team as a whole, including the coaches, his offensive line, RG3, is not going to be the franchise quarterback. Not a lot of guys are willing to put up with him right now, and the team's already suggested Kirk Cousins is going to be their Week 1 starter. I think sources came out this morning actually and said he is officially their guy. Gruden put it out there that he's been the best quarterback at camp. I find that hard to believe. Quite frankly, I just don't think they like RG3. He could be out of Washington fairly soon if they find a trade partner. What does this mean for 2015? Well, look at last year. They were pretty bad. Pierre Garcon was non-existent most weeks. Deshaun Jackson, hit or miss, home run threat guy. Alfred Morris had a decent season, but definitely has been trending downwards since over the last 3 years. Starting off with that high ceiling rookie year. I think a lot of it's going to be pretty identical to 2014. I can't see much improvement. So let's start with the passing game. Kirk Cousins, he's not stable enough of a passer, not good enough to be a fantasy relevant QB, but he's not so bad that he kills all the other value around him, like some of these teams, like the Browns, the Jets, actually when they had Geno Smith. So Cousins, he's out of the question for standard format leagues. Moving to the receiving core, Pierre Garcon saw a massive drop off in targets from 2013 and 2014. I'm not sure if he's ever going to see 130 targets in a season again, and which really hurts his value because he's good off the ball, or good when he's in space and has the ball, a terrific yards after the catch guy, and kind of needs those things to build on fantasy value. And I think a lot of his value for 2015 hindered on RG3 being healthy and being a reliable fantasy quarterback. So, with now that up in the air for 2015, Garcon's a late round risk, stashed on the bench, may not even be drafted in some leagues, shorter leagues. I don't see much with him, this season. I think it's going to be a repeat year of last year. And, Deshaun Jackson, a solid year from a stats standpoint, grabbing 1,100 yards and 6 touchdowns looks good on paper. But that home run threat, it leaves you dry a lot of weeks. If he doesn't get that 60-yard touchdown or rack up 3 receptions for 80 yards, get some big plays in there, he's not going to have a lot of points. He's just not consistent enough for me on a week-to-week basis to really like him. But like I said, he's kind of like the same stats as Garcon. You're going to watch for the matchups, plug him in, hope for the best, and hope he gets that bomb that Cousins can throw. So the tight end situation, Washington's really dwindled down. Niles Paul broke his ankle, cleared the way for Jordan Reed. There's no high volume passing attack here for Reed to really get in on. There's better tight ends to take a chance on. Moving to the running game, Alfred Morris, his efficiency has dropped the last 2 seasons. He had that electric rookie year where he had 1,600 yards and 13 touchdowns. Coincidentally, that was when RG3 was healthy and was playing well. They really connected. And, last 2 seasons, the yards per carry have dropped due to defenses loading the box and, asking whoever's under center to really beat them, which they can't. Morris needs attempts to be successful because he's not a guy in the passing game. He doesn't get those kinds of points. And I think you're going to see a further drop. Yeah, he's still be a decent running back, RB2 type player, but I think it's going to be frustrating, just like many of these guys, for week-to-week consistency. Of course, he's yet to drop below 1,000 yards, but I think that could be the case this year. We could see a really struggling year for Alfred Morris. But of course, with the depth at running back, he's going to be a fantasy player. It's hard to really like the Redskins until they get any sort of stability. And until they do, I'm going to look elsewhere for fantasy value.